Hey everyone, welcome to Life Untapped. I'm your host, Ivany Villalobos, here at Far West Lounge in Encinitas, California. Now join us as we tap into the latest trends, explore lifestyles, and as always, get you in the know. We'll cover all this plus much more right here on Life Untapped. Two-time Grammy Award winner Jason Mraz is known for his songwriting and vocal skills, his fan base stretching out internationally. Now at the Jason Mraz family farm, he's growing the first California-grown Geisha coffee bean, and it's so unique, it's going for $35 a cup.
I started my career in coffee shops. That's standing in the corner, trying to sing over a steam wand or an espresso machine or a burr grinder. And through my travels as an artist, I would dip into coffee shops all around the world and started to fall in love with the beverage itself. So I decided I would be more proactive with my trees and go organic and draw carbon down and be a better steward of the earth. Because for me, I felt like it was a good way to offset my music travels. We are in Oceanside, California, and we are a subtropical fruit farm. We grow 11 different varieties of coffee, and we are the producer of the coffee cherry, which is the very first step in the entire process to get a great cup of coffee. Every single tree requires a human to be visiting it weekly. We have about 2,400 coffee trees in the ground here on this farm. Of those 11 varieties, there are a few that are sought after. One specifically, probably the most sought after coffee in the world, is the Geisha variety, which originated in Geisha village, Ethiopia.
The Mraz family farm, it's the first farm in San Diego County to produce a geisha. The farm is truly a project of love. I'll be honest with you. The best coffee typically is grown at the highest elevation.
And the reason for that, in that high altitude, is it gets colder up there. And it causes that cherry to slow down its ripening process.
What we lack in elevation, we make up for because we have winter.
It's a mild winter. We're in a subtropical region, so we only get to about freezing, but it's not enough of a winter to kill the plants and harm the fruit. So where we don't have altitude, we have latitude. And that latitude allows California, by sheer accident, be a specialty coffee producer. This one would probably be delicious. Geisha has a reputation for its flavor, this silky smoothness that goes along with it. It also has a reputation on the marketplace because historically it has always been the most expensive cup of coffee. I mean, last year's Best of Panama sold for over $1,000 a pound. And that, my friends, is just the green finished bean.
So this would be the Geisha variety. This would be a natural, that's why there's a little bit of reddish color to it. The seeds are almost canoe shaped. They're oblong and they're narrower.
Once the roaster gets involved, they take that green bean, they add heat, the bean explodes, it loses half its weight and it doubles in size. And through the roasting process, that little green bean becomes that beautiful chocolatey coffee bean that everyone recognizes. If you get a California Geisha, you're drinking one of the rarest coffees in the world. I love being a steward of the earth and seeing what happens when you plant a tree and give it love. It's very much the same in any business or creative endeavor where you plant an idea and you water it, you nurture it, and then over the years you see what it grows into. We're here on Earth for a limited time. It's a miracle that we're even here, have consciousness, and it's a real luxury and an honor to be able to spend my time with these sentient beings.
Anchor Band Glassworks in Newport, Rhode Island is a collaboration of 3 childhood friends who share great enthusiasm for the art of glass creation and who bring a whole lot of talent in the art of glass blowing. Take a look.
My name is Timothy Underwood, and we are at Anchor Bend Glassworks.
Anchor Bend, we're a small little glass blowing art glass production studio. Getting up every day and going to this as a job, as a career is fantastic.
We are in there today. We have a pretty nice order for the Navy, which is great.
It's a piece that some gentlemen from the Naval War College saw and thought it would be a great idea to give them out as gifts for the graduating class. We kind of adjusted the original Anchor design to be exclusive for them.
Cranking them out, you know, one guy will start, hand it off to another guy.
Going through that same repetition, bringing the same amount of glass to the same heat every time helps to kind of create that consistency and form.
When you're really going, for me, it kind of feels good when you're really kind of in that zone and kind of moving with everybody else. Over the years, we've learned how to really work well together. A lot of glass blowing, 95% of it is working with other people. But here we kind of really work together, kind of like a dance. You know, a lot of people compare it to that. We don't like to think of it like that, because sounds funny to us, but you know, when we're in the zone, it's kind of what it ends up being.
In that environment, working close quarters, people can get irritable, so we want to make sure that everyone's happy and having a good time.
You know, we have that furnace going 24/7, so we're burning dollar bills.
It could be, you know, 130, 140 next to the furnace, plus the physicality of making the work can get pretty exhausting.
Glass blowing is inherently, you sweat all day in the summer for sure. It can get pretty brutal. Mike, why is Anchor Bend Glass made on honor?
In long, hot hours, but we enjoy it. But if we could then also have that enjoyment mean something more, that's the best.
It makes me feel good to know that, you know, somebody found us, went to our store in Newport, and you know, they really found something special to take home.
With all the things you can do in this world, I hope you do something that's, you know, gonna help instead of hurt it.
Craft beer, craft coffee, and now craft cuisine. Coming up next on Life Untapped. All right, Modern Times is best known for their great beer and coffee. And now with their Far West Lounge location in Encinitas, they're bringing culinary and libational magic with a plant-based cuisine to life.
What is Modern Times? Modern Times, it's a brewery. We started in 2013. We started out making our beers down in Point Loma, San Diego. Pretty early on, we started actually roasting coffee as well, mostly for our beers. And then from there, we actually launched that into our own coffee program, which includes cold brew, roasted, you know, whole bean coffee that you can get, you know, at our taste rooms and grocery stores. And now we've expanded to 7 locations, and we've even started doing food.
We are a 100% vegan, plant-based restaurant. We do a lot of food manipulation with a lot of Beyond products here in-house, everything made from scratch. We use Beyond patties for our burger, Beyond brats for our brat sandwiches. Hot Italian sausage is another product from Beyond we use.
Plant-based food has made huge leaps and bounds into becoming something that's just part of everyday culture, and we're happy to, you know, kind of help contribute to that by making just comfort food for people who really want to try something without meat.
Right here we have our double burger. It's 2 of our plant-based patties from Beyond Meat with our smoked in-house mushrooms. There's a coconut American cheddar cheese on there with a little roasted tomato, some lettuce, a shallot jam, and it's all on a brioche bun with pickles, with our fresh fried in-house chips. The burger would pair very nice with an IPA. The spicier items would kind of go really nice with an IPA, such as our potato Teresa burrito. And this one's our General Tso's cauliflower. It's a take on General Tso's chicken, if you will. We take cauliflower, break them down to florets, toss them in a little cornstarch slurry. They're then deep fried, then pan-seared on a little sesame oil, tossed with some Thai basil, some cilantro, some green onion, and then deglazed with a sweet sambal soy that coats it for that nice sheen. The most popular dish on our menu currently is the Asada Fries, featuring house braised seitan that we do here in-house. It's in a chipotle crema. There's a cheese sauce that we make with the cheese. We break down with herbs and spices. It's really nice. It complements the fries and the richness of the crema along with the asada with some fresh pico and some beans that are made here in-house.
People are seriously blown away. I think like anything else though, I mean, there are folks that come in that are just a little bit surprised, like, where's the beef, you know, and to throw back, like, age myself a little bit. But overall, I think people, once you get a chance to either let them try the food or talk about it or give them an idea of what is exciting about it and what you're passionate about and kind of bringing that to them, people have definitely responded well.
It's delicious. It's definitely worth trying, even if you're not vegan. There are definitely some items on the menu that might draw customers, guests to coming in and trying something.
It all comes back to team. It's all the people that are here that are pouring, you know, all of their passion into what they do in every little detail, and we're lucky that, you know, that has become very much of the essence of Modern Times.
Delicious. That burger is on my to-do eat list. So we're back at Modern Times here with Phil McNitt, Director of Sales and Marketing, and also known as Beer Jesus. That's right, I said it, Beer Jesus. I love that too. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, so Modern Times, there's the food. You guys have a full mini mart. You guys have over 30 types of beer is what I read. And you also offer coffee. I love coffee. Let's first talk about what you offer at this full mini mart.
So at our mini mart, you can get our beers to go. Actually, every month we do an online sale where we drop like the rarest and most desirable of all the beers that we have. We even have a membership club. You know, this is for those deep insiders. Beyond that, you can also get, you know, our year-round core beers that we have wide distribution. We have merch. We've got coffee. We've got sweet coffee mugs, which you might have had a chance to drink out of earlier today. So that's like a little bit of the mix of what we got over there.
Awesome, and I also saw that you guys have growlers and you offer flights. Let's talk about the flights because these are looking pretty delicious to sip on right now.
Yeah, we do flights here. Pretty much you can come build any flight that you want of everything that we have on tap. Kind of starting over here, one of my favorite beers is our ice Pilsner. You know, for me, I like just a really like nuanced, perfectly made lager. And I think it's kind of like with burgers we were talking about earlier. You know, like sometimes you want a burger that's just plain, little bit of like onion, little bit of sauce. And this is kind of like satisfies that same sort of like really comfort food type of beer for me.
Delicious. So besides the Pilsners, you also have, what are these? These look like sours?
Oh yeah, those are ones for you for sure. Like, so on the middle, we have two of our sours. This one back here, I'll lift it up for even more beauty. This is our Star Metal, which is a heavily guava-based sour that we do. And this one's our Nectarnomicon. So we do a rotating series where basically we kind of like blur the line between being fruit juice and beer. So these tend to be lower ABV, but hit with enough just, you know, every puree that we can find and squeeze into a keg.
Delicious. So why don't you pick one up and I'll pick one up and we'll cheers to that.
All right,
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. It's a hard tea that's healthy for you, and learn how this small batch gin is distilled. You're watching Life Untapped. Kombucha is an ongoing tea movement that promises several health trends. Now, Boochcraft is the first California hard kombucha drink that provides a clean and delicious alternative to beer and wine. All this, though, with the benefits of kombucha.
Kombucha is a fermented black tea. It's brewed with a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It's super healthy for you. It's got all sorts of beneficial bacteria, probiotics, and acids. So we decided to kind of do something different than everybody was doing. Everyone was kind of scrambling to try to get their kombucha less than 0.5% alcohol so that it wouldn't be considered an alcoholic beverage. And we wanted to just do something creative, something new, so we went the opposite direction.
So our kombucha is a 7% alcohol, whereas normal kombucha is 1.5%. So it's a fermented food, and one of the byproducts of the fermentation process is alcohol.
Beer starts by basically boiling grains to extract the sugars. What we do is we never boil anything, so it's completely unpasteurized, and we supply organic cane sugar as the food for the yeast, for the culture.
It's a nice mix. You know, you've got some health benefits from traditional kombucha, which we're maintaining those probiotics, and it's got alcohol in it. So it's a nice blend for somebody that lives a healthy and active lifestyle that also cares about the food that they put in their body.
It makes you feel, I mean, I'm sure it's good for you too, but it makes you feel like you're not just drinking like hard alcohol that's bad for you. You're putting something good into your body as well.
like the way it makes me feel. It's very mellow, very relaxed. It's not a typical hard liquor. It's delicious. The flavors are so good and refreshing.
We're all really conscious about our health and about the health of the environment, and so, you know, our product's all organic, sustainable. We try to buy as much produce from local farmers as possible.
I think obviously that we're unique. We're not another beer. There's a lot of beer breweries popping up, and so they're all competing for that space. But we're doing something different. It's, you know, expanding very quickly. It's one of the fastest growing beverages in the marketplace.
Their batches are small, their craft is precise, and their passion is strong. 7 Cave Spirits distills both gin and rum. They also mix up the classic cocktail and experiment with others. Watch this.
So the way this still works is this is a 28-gallon still with a 4-plate reflux column. I am Jeff Longenecker. I'm with 7 Cave Spirits. 7 Cave Spirits is a distillery here in San Diego, a craft distillery, founded on the principle of small batches of delicious booze. Our focus here are aged rums and gins. So these are really delicious, very fruit-forward juniper berries. These are fresh blood oranges, locally grown bare limes. My favorite part of the process is the creation. I love to sit and think about flavor. I wake up thinking about flavors in the morning. And when I get extremely awesome, fresh ingredients, it just inspires me to come in and just not mess them up. Just to make something that's delicious out of it and bring out the true essence of that product. 7 Caves is founded on a couple of different principles. One, I recommend coming in because you're going to experience rum and gin like you've never had before. The gins that I make here are singular. They're different. One of my gins, for example, is a tiki gin that has pineapple, passion fruit, coconut, and tangerines in it. And it's a very dynamic drink. One of my favorite things to do at the shop is to teach people about craft spirits. So I love that. I love having groups of people in here who are really inquisitive, will ask the questions, so we can get in the weeds on any of the eccentricities of the shop. I can serve them the things that I'm working on and show them simple cocktails based on just easy cocktails that you can recreate at home with my spirits. It starts with 7 Caves rum barrel aged maple syrup. This is a Vermont maple syrup that I age in my rum barrels. We just coat the bottom of the glass with maple syrup. Then we add 3 dashes of good orange bitters, and then put about 1.5 ounces of rum. No bar tools necessary. This is a super easy tiki-inspired cocktail with our tiki gin. It's quite delicious. This is a take on sort of a traditional sunset. So you take 2 ounces of 7 Caves La Jolla Cove gin, which is a California sea kelp and Meyer lemon gin. We just add 1 ounce of Blanc vermouth. 2 ingredients. Martinis should be stirred, not shaken. We stir them with some big pieces of ice. And that lemon balances the salinity of the cocktail. I want people to come and enjoy and learn about craft spirits from somebody really dedicated to working towards something that's just different. And it's fun to explore the different things that these alcohols that I make here can become. It's just awesome.
Coming up on Life Untapped, catch up with some real-life superheroes. Don't go away. The Arizona nonprofit Comic Care donates comic books to children in medical facilities. Now, they don't only bring smile to these kids' faces, they also bring real-life superheroes.
What Comic Care is and what we do? Well, it's really simple. We deliver comic books to children in hospitals.
We are Banner Thunderbird.
And what we're doing.
Amazing Comic Care, all of these amazing superheroes. We're putting some smiles on some kids' faces.
Comic Care started about 5 years ago. We started very small. It was just a handful of people, and I was the only superhero at the time. Since then, we've added 8 superheroes, and we have close to 20 people working behind the scenes at Comic Care. People have been so generous to us. They donate their comic book collections, and when I say collections, I mean it, not just a handful of comics. We have people donating thousands and thousands of comic books to us. We started out with 1 box of comic books, and each child would get a comic book and a sticker 5 years ago. And now we have close to 150,000 comic books in our storage facility. And every time that we get a chance to give those comic books out to children, it's really something that we're really thankful for the opportunity to do it. When we walk into a room and a child looks up at you and just lights up, there's nothing better than that. I mean, it feels like, I guess that's what it would feel like to actually be the character. But you walk into a room and sometimes we get all kinds of different reactions. I realized right away that what we were doing wasn't just for the kids that we were visiting. The siblings are there day after day for hours at a time. The mom's there, the dad's there. I make sure if the parents like comic books, they get comic books. If I find out that they have younger siblings, I'll say, you mind if I just leave some comic books for them? And we'll leave comic books for them. Not only do we get great reactions from the children and the families, but when we walk in, the staff here is just amazing. It's so fun. They come up and they're like, some of them will come up and a little casual, like, hey, can I get a picture with you? It's for my kid. I'm like, yeah, sure, come on over. But you can tell, I mean, they get almost as excited as the kids do. In some cases, they get more excited than the kids do. But we have a lot of fun. And honestly, whenever we post pictures of them, we always say, these are the real heroes. They're the ones that are in here day after day helping these children. And the child life specialists that we work with are just amazing people. They're trying to get the same smiles that we do, but they do it every single day. People can, if they're interested in helping us with comic books, they can reach out to us at comiccare.org or reach out to us on Comic Care on Facebook or Instagram. Other ways that people can help us, honestly, getting the word out. If you know somebody, heaven forbid, has a child that could use a visit, please reach out to us because the word of mouth is how we get most of our visits. Really, if someone really wants to help us, if you see a post, just share it on your page. We really appreciate it.
Well, that'll do it for us here on Life Untapped. As always, I'm your host, Ivany Villalobos. I'm gonna take a sip of this, but for now, we'll see you next time. Cheers.